Hello, everyone. This is Brian, the life of Brian to a new path. And yes, this has been a minute. It have been a minute. Um, just a update. Bronchitis, man. So update. Um, I had to have my Achilles surgery on my right ankle, right Achilles, and that was on January the 21st of 2026. And because before then I was like hopping everywhere in pain because I'm flat footed, and that was a lot of pain that I experienced. Um, Definitely thankful to Navant Health, Dr. Snow. I forgot her last name, but she did my surgery. Shout out to her for helping me to doing the surgery and sending me to the physical therapy. Shout out to Navant Health Physical Therapy. The one on 3515 West Market Street. The Novant Sports and Medicine over there. They helped me a lot to get back where I needed to be. Um, do I need more? I graduated yesterday. I graduated from my physical therapy, so only thing now to do is doing my part as I've been doing of keeping my legs strengthened. But to go to recap, doing my journey since after the surgery, because I had to do 2 weeks of laying on the couch and not doing anything. Um, Shout out to my loving wife who helped me, when I was down in the surgery. I'm thankful for her, and everybody else that helped me too. My pastor, um, and others that helped me to get back where I needed to be. And it was tough. Um, I was, laying there, when it's quiet, your mind, start thinking about, so much other stuff. But had to fight through that, because your mind, you just constantly go 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 go. So it's like now I'm sitting here having then had my surgery, and your mind finally gets to rest and think about, okay, the things to let go, the things to receive. And I thank God for new people that have came in my life, and there's some people I had to let go, some people that can't go with me on my new journey in my life. And it's okay. I had to let them go, let some people go. um but if you have a Achilles surgery, please do your physical therapy. you know Going to physical therapy, and also going to physical therapy at you know doing physical therapy at home, excuse me, because it helps out a lot. you know just going to physical therapy twice a week or once a week, you know that's not really enough. But you do on your part, doing your part of physical therapy, what they have told you, doing your homework, you know coming back. It's gonna be some days you're gonna feel like, oh man, I don't feel like it today. I just got off of work. I just put the kids in the bed or whatever. Um, or you just, got through cooking a meal. Push through. But if it's like really, really hurting, then don't push it because you don't want it to mess up. But it's gonna be some days where you're gonna have to, push through the fear, push through the pain to to get back where you need to be. Cause am I 100% now? No, I'm not 100%. But I'm back walking. I started back walking on my third week after surgery. After during the third week, it was like, yeah, you can start putting your pressure down, putting your foot down for putting pressure on it. Um, and I remember being in the shower. Yo, that is extremely painful. Like trying to get in the shower and your foot don't want to bend because it's like so tight. And I couldn't do it the first night when I was trying to take a shower during that time of my surgery. After excuse me, after they told me that I can put pressure on my leg, and I said, nah, I can't do it tonight. That night, so I tried it the next night, and fear tried to get in the way, and I was like, no, not today. This leg gonna get down. I'm gonna take the shower, and I'm gonna start back, walking. And I had to get it into my heart and my mind to be like, okay, I can get through this. This is not going to stop me, you know. And because fear tried to get in, it tried to seek in. Because my every time I put my leg down in the shower, my leg would hurry up and get back up. And I was like, no. I kept pushing through, kept pushing through. And all of a sudden, it just eased up, the stretch, and eased up a little bit more each day to the point that I was flat footed before I went back to my doctor's appointment. I was already, um, well, I am flat footed. Excuse me. I was already flat on the floor before I went back to my doctor's appointment on the third week. So I was already doing my my homework at home, just gradually, you know, stretching it to get it all the way down to the point I can, touch the ground all the way flat. At first, it was not easy. Um, I don't recommend you trying to do that unless you want to go through the pain because I went through a lot of pain just stretching it at home and because I was like I had in my mind I was like nah I want to be back walking so it was that willingness and God helping me to get through and prayers and support you know having that support around you it does help um and also believing in yourself. You're like, okay, I know it's hurting today, but I'm going to push through. If it, be a little bit too much, and I'm gonna sit down. You know, we got to know our limits. When we are trying to get our body, back. We're already healed, while building our body back. So it was not an easy journey. Um, but today, I did a bike ride today. Went to go see my sister and my nephews, and I noticed, it was a challenge on the hills. It was a challenge on the hills. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It was a challenge on the hills. But it was, peaceful, having that ride because I haven't rode a bike since I worked at, you know, Food Line in Summerfield because I would ride my bike from Greensboro to Summerfield and do that trail. I would ride that trail on a Vermeil Trail all the way to Summerfield, and you know that trail is so peaceful. Um, Cause you get to pass the lake and it's just peaceful to me. But I'm thankful, where I'm at now in my life. What God's placed me at now. Um, and just enjoy the ride. You know, I'm enjoying the ride. Where God wants to place me at to be used and to, encourage others. Because with this, Achilles surgery, it was no joke. Because it was hard seeing my mom, my mother crying, seeing their child, going to have to go through surgery. They got to go back to the waiting room. It was hard seeing her, shed tears. But I knew, God had me doing that surgery. Um, it was definitely, peaceful. Um, but you got to make sure that you are doing, doing your homework, doing what supposed to do, um, doing what you're supposed to do for your repair, getting back where you need to go. Because, it takes time. Um, Even though I graduated, I still need to, you know, do my exercises because I have a hard time now if I do like one leg and try to lift up do the heel raises, it hurts. My leg does not even move. Because they had to make the Achilles thicker, so I can I can tell the difference between my left Achilles and my right Achilles. But other than that, it's gonna take time. I'm already healed, so it just gotta take on my part after I graduate from physical therapy to do my part to continue to work on my body. And I'm thankful that I'm back walking and be able to ride my bike and ride with others that ride bikes and or just ride and just enjoy the ride. But I'm gonna holler at y'all later. My wife has walked in the door, and this is the life of Brian to a new path. And I love you. Continue to be the great person that you are. Continue to have the love in your heart. Peace.